Welcome, everyone. We are live, and it is Wednesday. Oh my, pardon me. Well, allegedly, we're supposed to have a lovely day. Not a hot day, just a lovely one. No rain. But then tomorrow, and for the rest of the week, it rains again. But, it is what it is. Because this water will help us a lot come winter and everything else, right? But let's get along with it. Today we're talking about pushing versus allowing. Now, what is the difference? The difference is the mental mood. When you are in a mood, do you not just do? Do things just not flow? Think about this. It doesn't matter what the mood is. As long as you're in the mood, you will flow. Things happen, things unfold naturally. As Neville Goddard would say, the end has its own means of expressing itself, which means the mood that you select will play out in the only way that it can, right? So, how does one allow? We allow by deliberately choosing the mood. You know, I get a little touch of road rage every now and then. Because you know how it is sometimes. Oh, yes. I get whew, a little heated. And that's putting it mildly. But if I have my music on and I am busy singing and dancing, I'm focused and I feel better and I don't cuss anybody out. Why? Because the mood that the music puts me in. I've told you guys this story before. Um, when I was 19, just yesterday, and I was taking driver's ed, and I was so scared. I sat behind the wheel. My instructor was next to me, and was it? Yeah, it was Rod who was next to me, my driving instructor. And I was so scared I didn't even turn on the ignition. But I guess it was one of those cars where you could just, you know. And he says to me, Angela, turn on the ignition. I said, okay. And he turned on the radio. And Mariah Carey came on. I'm pretty sure it was Sweet Fantasy. Or You Got Me Feeling Emotion. I don't remember which one it was. But I do know it was Mariah Carey. And I started to sing the song. And he said to me, now put your foot on the brake and put the car in drive. Use your indicator. And let's go. And let me tell you something, Linda. All fear was gone. Why? Because he drew me out of the mood of fear. And to this day, I never did ask him why he decided to turn on the music. I don't know why. He didn't say, I didn't ask. But when I heard Mariah Carey, oh, all I wanted to do was sing. So I was relaxed. I was in a different mental attitude, a different mood. And so there it was. Your girl was no longer scared. I was driving. You see, that was allowing instead of forcing. He knew he couldn't sit there all day. So, as he sat there, he thought to himself, how am I going to get this girl to drive? He asked a question, and he was answered. And ever since that day, I know now that if I want to drive and be in a good space mentally, I just turn on my favorite songs. And iTunes does something really kind of cool. I have a tendency to put a particular song on repeat. When I really love a song, it's just on repeat over and over and over again. iTunes built me a list based upon the songs that I play on repeat. Well, isn't that something? What do you think just happened there? That is the principle of rhythm. iTunes watched my habit and what I listen to and built a list based upon my tastes, my habits. You see, we cannot escape the principle of rhythm. So you don't force, you allow. So that's what iTunes did. And how do I know it did that? Because when I don't necessarily go into new music. I like what I like. If I hear a song, I'll search it up on iTunes. But what I did was I happened to just scroll through and I saw most repeated songs. I said, wait a minute, what? Are you watching me? Yeah. And that's how I knew that it built me a list. And these are all the songs I have had on repeat over the past couple of weeks. Why am I telling you this? Because naturally, when we are feeling kind of low or whatever we're feeling that we don't want to feel, naturally, we do something to lift our mood. Or as the law of attraction community would call it, raise our vibration. To raise the vibration means to lift the mood, to lift the mental attitude from where you don't want it to where you want it. That is what it means to raise one's vibration. So, you will find that you do that naturally. You do it naturally because that is our design. Mood, and then thoughts follow mood, words follow thoughts, actions follow thought, but everything is following mood. So to allow a change to happen, change the mood, and everything will flow from the mood you select. So if you are in a bad mood, quote unquote, bad, or an undesirable mood, what do you think your thoughts will be like? They must match the mood. So you will find that your thoughts, and now your words, because you're going to cuss somebody out, and now your actions, you're going to be flipping the bird, eh? They all match the mental mood that you presently occupy. So you have allowed. Pushing would be, oh my God, I can't do this. This is so hard. Why? and you're trying to push, push, push. I'm so tired of trying. That's pushing because it will wear you out. You're pushing against something that is immovable. So you don't, its nature is not to be pushed. Its nature is to move on its own, not to have you push it. It moves on its own because it likes that. It just says, select your mood. And it becomes like a jukebox. And you push the little button and the little disc on the inside flips over so you can see what what the titles of the other ones are. You push the button, I don't want that song. You flip, you flip. Until what? You find your favorite song. This is how we change our moods. We just flip through moods. But you will notice, just like Apple did, there's a particular mood or particular moods that you repeat over and over and over again because you love them, right? So that's what happens when you allow the thing to happen. All it simply means is you have selected the mood you want. Listen, if you've ever been to a club and the DJ turns on your song, did he have to force you to get up out of your seat and get on the dance floor? No. He just played your jam and you naturally got up and busted a move. Oh, freak out, right? That's what you did. You got up and you just, oh my God, I got to play my song. And you dance. Let him keep playing the stuff that you love. You may get a little tired from dancing, but you don't feel the fatigue because you are in the mood. So you just follow the inclination to dance the night away, naturally. But you let that DJ don't play anything you like. And you be like, man, he sucks. What's going on? I paid all this money. I'm going to go somewhere else. And then, what kind of mood is that? Right? And so complaining will flow naturally from there. You'll allow yourself to complain because that's the corresponding mood. So if you pay attention, you would recognize that it is our natural state is to allow, not to force. Our natural state is allowing, not forcing. Because once you get the mood, you don't have to make anything happen. It is drawn out of you to do it. I told my son last night, I said, I know you told me you were going to do the dishes. I know you told me, but you should do them early enough where you're not going to get caught being tired. And when you're tired, you're not going to want to do them. He says, I know, Mom. I go downstairs this morning. Dun, dun, dun. Dishes in the sink. Now before, I would have lost my marbles. Hello? But I understand why they're in there. Because he allowed whatever that mood was that he was in, right? And because he didn't change that mood, Well, that mood does not facilitate doing dishes. It facilitates doing something else. That's not a dishwashing mood. And listen, everybody has to put themselves in a dishwashing mood. Everybody. Everybody has to put themselves in a laundry folding mood. Think about that for a moment. The dryer stops. That's the buzzer on the dryer. And you're like, oh, man, I gotta go do the laundry. And I catch myself when I say, get up. And my favorite thing to tell myself is, because if you are an avid movie watcher, you will understand. The thing I say to myself to get myself in the mood for doing the dishes or the laundry, get up, Trinity. Just get up. It's from The Matrix. You know, when she rolls down the stairs after she busts through that window, lands on her back and pulls out her guns. She goes, get up, Trinity. Just get up. And I was like, oh, yes. And that's what I do to get myself up in the mood. And you'll notice that there are some moods you just gotta nudge yourself. But you know that once you nudge yourself in the mood, you don't have to do anything else after that. You'll do what the mood tells you to do. And then there are some moods that we just say, whew, I want to be in that mood. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, right? The point of the matter is, once you select the mood, allowing happens naturally on its own. We never have to force ourselves, even if it is to do the dishes or the laundry. You don't force yourself to do it. You convince yourself. You say, oh, get up, Trinity, get up. Why? Because you know once you get up, the dishes will get done. And you didn't have to force yourself. That's why I say it is unnatural to force, but it is natural to allow. And if you look at your life, you will understand exactly what I'm saying to you. The mood that you put yourself in will make you act. Think about all of the moods that you are in during the day, and you will notice that you're not in just one mood all day, because that's not the way it works. We move from mood to mood to mood. But what we do, according to Apple, this is why I tell you the principle of rhythm exists. And if you watch it, you will learn about yourself. Now, I always wanted to know how many times I played a song on repeat, because I figured there should be a way for them to count it. But they one-upped me. They said, here, hold my beer. Let me show you how many times you listen to this song. You listen to this song so much, I built you a list. From every single song you've repeated more than twice. So long as I have repeated a song, it's in that list. Why am I telling you that? Because the principle of rhythm. Everything has a pattern, a way that it unfolds, and that includes you. That includes you. So you look at what mood you are in. And how many times do you repeat that mood throughout the day? And if you catch it, you will begin to recognize how you're living your life, and why it is unfolding the way that it is. Because of the mood and how frequently you repeat that mood. The more you repeat a mood, it becomes a habit. And a habit is a beautiful thing. This is why I tell you there is only allowing and never forcing. Because the habit now, because you've been doing it and doing it and doing well, the habit says, oh, you like doing me? That's nice. Well, let's do it some more. So you don't have to fight to do something. The habit you have laid down lets you, it allows you to do it easily and effortlessly. So there is only allowing. Because even if you are in a mood that you don't want to be in, but you don't recognize it, you will still act according to that mood. You will allow yourself to flow with that mood. Until such time as you say, man, I don't want to be in that mood anymore. I want to be in a different mood. And then people ask me all the time, well, how do you change your mood? I'm like, are you serious? Don't you turn on your favorite song? And they're like, oh my God, yeah, I do. I said, that's exactly the point. You see, we do it so naturally that we take it for granted. We do it so naturally. We take it for granted. Because the design, oh, hello, and here comes a design all his own. You got to warm that voice up, big feller. He does it so naturally, we take it for granted. It is something else to watch it unfold. You see, pay attention as you go through this day. Just pay attention. I was in a room listening yesterday, and they were talking about statistics and sociology. You realize people will look for studies, but they don't look at themselves. But, whoa, oh my. People will look at studies and go with the evidence of a study, but they won't study themselves. Listen, you have so many years of research under your belt if you would just look. Look at all the times you were in a mood of self-depreciation, if that is such a word. Well, what do you mean, Angela? How many times have you sat and thought about yourself in an unsavory fashion? Oh my God, I'm no good. I can't do this. How many times have you done that? And then look at the corresponding behavior. Did you ever finish? No, because that's not the outcome of that mood. The outcome of the mood of complaining is to feel worse. Naturally. But if you turn on your favorite song and just dance, now watch it. We call it comfort food. We call it emotional eating. When in actuality, what you are doing is you've taught yourself to use food to lift your mood. Listen to it. We all have a favorite thing we like to eat. Why? Because it makes us feel good. But now, let us insert some discernment. I don't know if you can hear that low rumble, but that low rumble is the engine of my neighbor's jacked up Dodge Ram. Oh, yes. But anyway, I digress. We have a favorite food that when you eat it, you say, oh my God, this tastes so good. And it lifts your mood. But here's something that we don't see running in the background. You see that mood? It's perfectly all right. But if you tell that mood, oh my God, look at the size of my butt. Ugh, I really gotta stop eating this. It's making me fat. Now, you just changed the mood about food. You changed the mood about food. How did you change it? Look at what you told yourself. Ugh, I can't even get in my jeans. I gotta stop. I gotta go on a diet. I gotta do a cleanse. I gotta fast. I don't feel good about myself. You see, because sometimes we don't see the underlying motion of the mood. We don't see it. When you are in a mood, look at it first. You have about what? 5 seconds. That's a long time. You got this little window in there in that mood before you act it out. Right? You have enough time to feel out the mood and decide, I want this one, or no, let me switch it. You see, we eat, right? Most things that we do in this life are centered around food because food is an experience. But we have associated judgment with food, thereby bringing in the mood of guilt. Oh, you shouldn't be eating this. You shouldn't be eating that. So we bring in the guilt and the shame now. So when we eat from a mood of where? Guilt and shame. And a funny thing happens when you eat from that mood. You know exactly what happens when you eat from that mood. As within, so without. You feel guilty when you eat it. You beat yourself up when you eat it. You feel poorly about yourself when you eat it. Because of the mood. This is why one does not judge the mood. One observes the mood and discerns, do I want this mood or something else? I want a different mood. Why? Because every cause has its effect and every effect has its cause. If you choose a mood of guilt and shame, everything you do from that mood is going to make you feel bad. But if you choose a mood of joviality, if that is a word, you're having fun, you're joyous. You change your mood to one with pep in your step. Well, then your actions will match that mood. People ask, Ansel, why are you happy all the time? I'm like, no. You ever driven with me? Happy all the time? No. I'm not happy all the time. I'm not angry all the time. I'm not pleased all the time. But there is one thing I am all the time. aware of the principles. That if I have it on the inside, I must experience it on the outside. What is that? I have a knowing. So do you. It's not just me, you have a knowing too. So you see, my beautiful friends, you take your time, and allowing is natural. Just choose the mood you want to act out. And you will, the moment you choose the mood, you already know how it's going to turn out. Yes, you know how it's going to turn out. That's why you choose that mood, because you know the outcome. There's some sayings we have in society. Don't start nothing, won't be nothing. You see that mood? Them there be fighting words, honey. Don't start nothing, there won't be nothing. The FAFO, you mess around, you'll find out. That's a mood all on its own. And you know exactly how it is going to turn out. So you already know that the whatever mood you're in is how you're going to act. But yet you want to say, I don't know how it's going to go. I'm scared. Stop that. You already know exactly how it will turn out because of the mood that you choose. So the key is this. You don't have to be in the mood 24/7. You just have to repeat the mood often. Because whatever you do the same way every time becomes a what now? Habit. And the nature of a habit is to streamline your day and make what you do easier. So, my beautiful friends, you never have to push. You don't have to force your children to clean their rooms. Just put them in the mood. How are you going to get them to do that? Observe your child. What do they like? You don't have to take away things from them. You don't have to threaten them either, per se. What do they like? My son loves going for ice cream. I think we even have an ice cream festival on right now. Until the end of August, I believe. I don't know. All I gotta say is, ooh, ice cream. Or if he's low on ice cream, he goes, Ma, I really want to go for some ice cream. I'm gonna do some chores. He puts himself in the mood for ice cream. He says, look, I'll ask you early because I know how you get. Once you sit down, Mama, you don't want to get up. Once you've done all your chores, you don't want to do anything else. You're just going to relax. I said, He goes, I'm going to get ready real fast. Because then you'll still be in the what? Mood to drive. How you think you know that? He observes. That's why I tell you, I had to learn this the hard way. Do you know how many months and years I have hollered? Do this, do that. Do you know? And all I had to do was observe. Shoot. I keep telling you, we are meant for a life of ease. But you're like, no, we're not. If we were meant for a life of ease, there wouldn't be any suffering in the world. That's another day. That's another conversation. So as you go through this day, my beautiful friends, because YouTube is telling me I've been talking for 34 minutes. And allegedly, I'm supposed to leave you wanting more. So you know how it is. I'm working on it. So as you go through the day, recognize that when you put yourself in a mood, I don't put you in a mood, you put yourself in a mood. Yes, you do. You know how you put yourself in a mood? By using your imagination. By asking yourself, what would it be like if I were the man or the woman I wanted to be? Or what would it be like if I was living the life I wanted to? What would it be like if? You see, we always put ourselves in a mood. Now, if you walk down the street and you hear your favorite jam and you don't want to be in that mood, you won't follow. You won't do it because it's not within. And as within, so without. But if that mood is already within you and a suggestion is given, or you'll be in that mood in no time. You see, we are always in a state of allowing because that is the only state there is, allowing. So you don't have to fret, you don't have to worry, you don't have to hope, you don't have to figure it out. It doesn't matter what kind of darkness in your thoughts and your mind you've been dealing with. They come from a mood as well. So you don't have to stay in a good mood all day long. You just have to stay in a good mood habitually more than you're staying in a bad one. That's why I tell you, how many times can you put yourself in a mood and how long can you hold it for? You just got to hold it for a minute or two. Because then your body, like iTunes, will recognize, wait, you like this mood because you keep repeating this one. Okay, good. This must be your favorite mood then. Let me make it easy for you to always be in this mood more than any other mood. This is how it works naturally. So if you find that you're depressed, now you are not depressed. You're just habitually in the mood of depression. When you hear it like that it's not you who are that's depressed. You're not depressed. You're just in the mood of depression frequently. You're just in the mood of depression frequently. So you're now savior would be to know that it is just a mood. And as easily as you can move yourself from one mood, you can move it to another. You know this because you do it every day. You do it every day. You're just in a mood. And we can flip through moods. You're just in the mood. And because you're in the mood, you have to act it out. You have to embody it. Because the body follows. It allows itself to be led by the mood. It surrenders to the mood. That's why all your blood work is going to match. Because you're in that mood all the time. So you don't fight the mood. Don't fight anxiety. Don't fight depression. Don't fight anger. Find a different mood and play in that mood more. You don't do it all day. You don't open your mouth and pour the whole plate down your mouth. You take one bite at a time. So you get into the mood and you hold that mood for as long as the song plays. And then you're in a different mood now. But if you keep going back to that song and that mood, that will become the habit. And that's the mood you will go to most often throughout the day. Thereby allowing yourself to act in a particular way. I trust that that makes sense to you today, my beautiful friends, yes? Who's kicking it with us today? Let's go is here in these Twitter streets. Hey, it's good to see you. Who else is here? Well, there's somebody here in YouTube, but they haven't told me who they are. But hello, darling, I see you. Tee. Howdy, y'all. Who's on fan base with us this morning? Oracle Treehouse. Hey, girl. Moon and Dolphin Duck. Moon, I trust that your exam went well. I trust that it did. I mean, I know you, so I know it did. KZ, my sweet. Flo Smiles. Oh, Miss McQueen, you just popped into the room. Well, howdy, Miss McQueen. Howdy. You know, ladies always looking for you. And this little, listen, I have to call her Biscuit. Because this is just for Miss McQueen. But anyway, you know how when chickens, they'll roost, they will sit on their feet and they look like little loaves because they spread their feathers and they look like loaves. Well, Noah says to me, Ma, she was practicing how to be a loaf. And I said, oh, she's too small. She's more like a bun. I said, wait a minute. She's not like a bun. She's like a biscuit. Because that's how small she is. So as soon as I said Biscuit, I said, oh, that is her name. So her name is no longer Chickaletta. Her name is Biscuit. Because it is more fitting. So that's her name, Biscuit. And so she's learning how to use her wings. She's flitting about the space. Oh, my word. And the other day, I just had to snatch her up because she does not come willingly because I don't have any treats in my hand because I'm not going to, lure you. No, I want you to come to me because I want you to. But I don't give her that. I just snatch her up. And Noah says, Ma, if you keep snatching her up, she'll never trust you. And I'm like, I don't have time. So I just snatch up that poor little biscuit. And she's got green eyes. Just like popcorn. I miss popcorn. And this was the story told to me because it was raining so much. Hello, Dawn. It was raining so much. The chickens, they're outdoor chickens, but they have their sheds and everything. They have their nesting boxes and whatever. So they have plenty of shelter from the rain. But when they come outside, it's a little bit muddy. And you know what was told to me? He said to me, the only chicken not dirty. Now, you all know how you wear white. I had a barbecue stain on my white t-shirt. She was killing me in that mini skirt to McGraw. White just attracts dirt like a magnet, but not popcorn. Popcorn had no blemish on his feathers, let alone the feathers on his feet. Popcorn was as white as the snow. Don't ask me how popcorn keeps himself clean. I don't know. But every other chicken was dirty except popcorn. Let me tell you something. When popcorn walks in, he walks in chest first. This baby struts. I don't know how he knows, but he knows. He knows that he's amazing. And he's just biding his time because the main rooster is the only one who crows. The other roosters do not. Only the main one does. The king of the roost. He's the one who crows. Yes? The others don't crow. But popcorn doesn't need to say anything. Oh, yeah. Popcorn is just full out. Just cocksure. That's where it came from. Anyway, you gotta be like a rooster and strut. Now, that's a whole other mental attitude, is it not? See, that's what I mean. The mood. Just the mood. So, as you go through your day today, Allow the principles to be the soft bosom we all like to put our heads upon. It's true. They are a comfort. Why are they a comfort? Because they tell you you don't have to worry. They sing to you Bob Marley every day. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be all right. That's what the principles tell you every day, all day. How do they tell it to you? They tell you as within, so without. That's what they tell you. Every cause has its effect, and every effect has its cause. It tells you put yourself in the mood of whatever it is you want to accomplish, and it will unfold for you because you will only act according to that mood. What is the mood of success? Confidence, courage. So begin to walk like my young rooster. Indeed, you walk into the room knowing that as above, so below, as within, so without, that everything is already done. You don't have to worry. If you want to harvest, plant. That is the only way to get a harvest. So you don't complain that you don't have a harvest. If you want a harvest, decide what you want to harvest and plant accordingly, which is what is the desired outcome for your life? Well, that desired outcome has a mood. Now, how do you stroke the mood? What would it be like if? Little bit, you're a naughty boy. What would it be like if that is how you stroke the mood? By asking that question. What would I be doing if I were ... What would I be doing? And you allow the mood to just be there. And you will find your actions, let me say it in the right order. When you select the desired mood, your thoughts will match the mood. Your words will match the thought. Your actions will match the words. All from that original place of what mood did you select? You see how easy and effortless life actually is? Well, don't take my word for it, man. We don't even allow hearsay in a court of law. You need cold, hard evidence. Here's how you get the evidence. This little exercise will help you. Have you ever said, oh my God, what a coincidence? How many coincidences can you see today? Because you know what the coincidence entails. The coincidence says what you were thinking of, what you were in the mood of, you experienced and saw. Every time. Listen, you ever said to somebody, oh my God, I was just thinking about you and you called me. Hello. As within, so without. Look for the coincidences today and you will see that you were aligned. Because you can only be aligned. Anyway, you know I love you. Yes, I do, my beautiful darlings. And thank you for the love. You know I love you. But he's hollering to tell me, okay, you got to get my food ready, mama. That's what he's saying. So, countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2, Now he gonna make me look bad. What a coincidence. Listen, we all just saw the first coincidence this morning because I'm reading in the chat. I'm waiting for him to do the number one, but you know what? Listen, here's your first coincidence of the day. I'm reading it from Flo Smiles. My neighbor just turned on his Dodge Ram, right? To let it warm up. And what does she say? She says that's what her son wants. So she's going to go check them out. There's your first coincidence. I didn't know her son wanted a Dodge Ram. How am I supposed to know that? I don't have a crystal ball. See? What a coincidence that I would be talking about something as within her she experienced on the outside. How am I supposed to know her son wanted a Dodge Ram? I've never spoken to her, baby. But yet, I mentioned Dodge Ram because I can hear him, and the windows are closed, let me tell you. And all I can hear is, that's all I can hear, because that's what that engine sounds like. But when you get a Mercury Cougar, now a Mercury Cougar sounds a whole different way. Let me see if I can do it for you. That's what the Cougar sounds like. It purrs. But you get a Shelby in the mix. Oh, hallelujah. Ooh, that Ford Shelby will have you wanting to strip your clothes off. Why? Listen. Whew. I love automobiles. I just do. I love cars. Anyway, I digress. I digress. We just had our first coincidence of the day. Okay? I spoke about Dodge Ram, and that just coincidentally happens to be what her son wants. You just had the first coincidence. How many more can you spot? You saw hers. It doesn't matter where you see the coincidence. The point of the matter is this: as within, so without. The thing that you were feeling on the inside, you experienced on the outside. That is what coincidence means. Because we say it all the time. I'm just bringing it to your attention. Oh my God, I was just thinking of you. And here you are. As within, so without. So you're going to stop calling it coincidence and you're going to say, oh my God, what a correspondence. As within, so without. That is the principle of correspondence. K-Frame. K-Frame drives a Suburban. K-Frame, you must have a lot of kids. I like a Suburban too. Suburban falls into line with, like, in the same class as the Denali's and the, check out the Oil My Cadillac Spills, you know, the Escalade, the Lincoln Navigator. They're in the same class. Anyway, we're not talking about cars, but oh, oh, hello for the people. I see you. Ow. Anyway, I love you. It is 6 o'clock on the nose. Well, 6 o'clock on the beak, if you get my drift. Let me go feed my chickens and hug and kiss a little bit. Mm-hmm. You know, he does something very incredible. My son always says to me, Ma, he loves you, you know. He always knows when you're home, or if I call you, he knows. If Lil Bit's downstairs and I come down the stairs, he will turn around, flap his wings, and crow, and it's like all hail the queen. He's giving me a complex. I came in the door yesterday. His wings are flapping. He turns around and he crows. And I'm like, oh, hello. He always, what's the word? Announces my arrival. Yeah, that's my baby. That's my baby. Okay, little bit, I'm coming. I'm coming. Okay, I'm here. Anyhow, I love you. See, he still didn't do one yet, but you know what? Do you, boo-boo? He's like, no, mother. I don't crow on command. You shall not push me to crow. I allow myself to crow when the mood strikes. My rooster. I tell you, he's something else. Flo Smiles, you can? I just saw that other comment. I have the barcode. Just, I'm done. I also have the, I'll send you what I got. Anyway, just talk to me before you start, because I'd like to make your life easier. Anyway, I love you all. Go through the day and watch for the coincidences and remember what a coincidence means. It means that your mood, your thought, your experience matched. Okay? Love y'all. Mwah.